All right, I'm recording. Yep. Hey, can we do a 3, 2, 1 clap to make it easier to goddamn? 3, 2. Are you recording?
Yeah.
2, 1.
3, 2.
No, that was
1.
fine. That'll
fine?
work.
Okay. That'll
Yep.
work? Okay.
Hey,
Hi.
everybody!
No, it's my turn this time.
No, it's not. Remember, because I screamed last time and said everyone shut up, listen to Holden.
That's true.
Yeah, it is. Welcome to Split Screen Gaming Podcast. The It's a podcast we do. I don't remember any of the spiel. Good thing
It's
I'm
the
hosting
occasional
two lifelong
weekly
friends.
podcast.
Sometimes a third. Sometimes a turd.
Sometimes.
Welcome back, guys.
Mostly
It's been a
just us,
week
though.
since our last one. We were
It
hoping
is.
to get this up on Sunday, and then Holden said Monday, and then we said Tuesday, and then we said Wednesday. So now it's Wednesday, and we're recording it.
This one is my fault. Last time it was your fault, but this time it's my fault.
Well, last time it was my fault because I made it your fault.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
But I beat Hellblade now, so we can talk about Hellblade.
Yeah, you did. Hey, tell me what you. Let's start this out how we always start. What were you playing this week?
Hellblade. That's all I've had time to play. I've had
That's all you
almost
played?
no time to play video games.
All that time going to church.
I'm not going to church. So I will text Chad and say I'm a Mass, but I mean Massachusetts, not Mass. I'm not in Mass all the
so
time.
often.
I am a religious person, though. That is a thing.
You didn't specify.
I'm turning down my
what
audio a
religion.
little bit because it's actually going to the yellow, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit.
You're a yellow. Okay, yeah. God damn it.
All right, so just so you know.
So you played
doing that.
Hellblade.
I did.
We're going to do a little baby spoiler session after this episode. So look for a separate episode breakout thing that'll say, hey, spoilers for Hellblade. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But what are your just kind of like overall impressions?
I think that the beginning of the game totally deterred me from wanting to play it. So, like, Chad got this game for me out of the kindness of his own heart because he really wanted me to play it. Had you
Out of
not...
something in my heart.
Had you not bought this game for me, honestly, I would have stopped within the first 2 hours because I really hated it that much. But the end of that game makes up for it, and then some. It is so good once you get past the first two, I guess, levels you could call it.
Yeah.
It just gets so much better. Once the psychosis starts making a bigger play in the game, that's where it starts getting a lot better for me.
Yeah.
But we'll get into my reasons why and all that.
Did you watch the documentary?
Oh, crap, I didn't. I didn't have time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you stupid bitch.
I'm a stupid bitch. You're a stupid bitch.
That's all right. We'll talk about it regardless. Irregardless. This week I played. Thank you for asking. I
don't ask you questions anymore.
I beat Undertale. Have you ever played Undertale before, or heard of Undertale, or know what Undertale is?
Why is that so familiar? I keep thinking of
it's a
of
spot
Lucky's
under
Tale.
the dog's butt. It's the butthole of a dog. It's what's under the tail.
Oh, you've been playing with the
Just
dog's
kidding, no.
butthole?
I've been fingering dogs on the weekend. Yeah.
Well, you just admitted to bestiality.
No, Undertale is a game that came out 2 years ago on PC and had a cult following. Fondling fall. God damn it. Words. Undertale just
Having a
recently
hard time
last
there, Chad?
week came out on PS4 and PlayStation Vita.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, huh. It's an indie game. Got some good reviews and lots of buzz on PC. And then I was looking at reviews for the PS4 and Vita, and it was like, hey, I think you got a 10 from IGN and a 9 from GameSpot. And I was like, what? So I was like, okay, I'm going to pick this up and play it. The very first time I heard of this game was actually from a 7-year-old girl who, during a camp, all she wanted to do was fucking listen to Undertale. She's like, Undertale! I was like, what is Undertale? She's like, Undertale! I was like, fine, we'll listen to Undertale. And then it was an 8-bit soundtrack. And I was like, okay, cool. But she fucking loved it. And then her and this other kid bonded, and then they fucking loved it. So I was like, okay, kids love it.
And you're a
IGN
kid.
loves it. GameSpot loves it.
And you're a child.
I'm going to check it out. And it is a fucking great, awesome little baby RPG.
Because you're a child.
Because I'm a child. It's a JRPG of sorts.
Okay.
Where there are some random battles. You can level up. You can... you fight, and it's like a similar experience to what you would see in a JRPG, but I think you would like it because your biggest thing with JRPGs is you don't like having no control over whether or not the enemy hits you.
Yeah.
This entire game, you have full control over that. Like, there's a little square that shows up on your screen, and you are a little heart in the middle of it, and their attacks are actually like, if it's an airplane, that you're fighting, and you fight these strange ass. You're in a world full of monsters. Okay, let's set this up. You're in a world full of monsters underground, and humans have banished monsters there and sealed them there. But I'm a little stupid human that tripped into a hole, and now I'm down there, and I'm trying to make my way back up. So I'm fighting all these weird ass monsters, like airplanes with feelings, and like little guys with snow hats that are just attached to their hats, and piles of moss. But this game is so freaking funny, and all of their attacks, like maybe the plane is dropping bombs in this little square, and you're the little heart, and you're kind of dodging those bombs, and that's its attack, and then you get to attack like regular. But you can go the entire game without hurting a single enemy. Because you also have cool. You have like a talking attack option, where if there's like this
you like negotiate with your enemy basically,
kind of a little bit, like there's a battle with these two knights, and they start sweating because it's so hot. So one of your options is to start cleaning the armor of one of the knights. So I started doing that over and over to him, and then he's like, I can't take it too much anymore. It's getting too hot, and he takes off his armor, and then the other one is like starting to freak out a little bit, and one of the options is to tell him to confront his feelings, and then he announces, hey, I'm actually in love with you, and I like looking at you with your shirt off, and then they decide to go be gay together instead of fighting you. So you could do that, or you could fight him traditionally. That's with really attacks funny. And weapons and shit like that.
That sounds like such an indie game. There's no way that would be made by like a AAA developer. That's hysterical.
Yeah, it's hysterical. Everything about this game is so...
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
It kind of reminds me of like a modern take on like Earthbound or something like that.
It's very much inspired by Earthbound. Very much inspired by it. There are little references and hints like to Earthbound all over the place. But the entire world has this charm and this personality to it. Like one of the first signs in the game that you walk up to, in a game you walk up to a sign, you read it. Great. One of the very first signs is press X to read a sign. And you're like, obviously, because I had to press X to read the sign that I'm reading that it tells me how to read a sign. And then there's like a room, and there's a rock on the ground, and there's a switch. And you read a sign, and it says, 3 out of 4 rocks love being pushed. Like, okay, cool, I'm supposed to push this rock. So you push it. Mm-hmm. And then you go to the next room, and there are 3 rocks on the ground, and you push 2 of them. And then you go to push the 4th one, and he's like, hey, what are you doing pushing me? It's like, oh, I get it. 3 out of 4 rocks enjoy being pushed. The 4th one doesn't. Like, this whole stupid game, I laughed out loud so many freaking times. It has a great personality to it. It's super awesome. But what I find most fascinating is that this game is full of secrets. Like, the game has 3 very different endings, depending on whether you kill people the whole time, or whether you kind of kill people, or whether you just talk everyone out of battling. And then there are hundreds and hundreds of side quests that you can unlock in secret rooms that you can find if you like solve puzzles a certain way. I beat the game and got the platinum trophy in about 3 hours. Okay. And there are people out there that are playing this for hundreds of hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is there that much game there, or are they just playing it over and over?
No, there's so much in this game, so many secret little side quests and things like that. I mean, I can think of a couple things off the top of my head that I passed by. I'm like, what is that?
Wait, are they all created by the developer, or are they like? So it's not procedurally generated or anything like that.
No, it's all created by the developer.
Interesting.
Pretty awesome game.
If you have some time, of gameplay for. I'm assuming this is an indie game. It's like what, $15-$20?
It was $14.99. Yeah.
That's really good.
Give me another reason to play my Vita.
I miss my Vita. I want a Vita again.
It was so good. I played it on the bus. I played it at a movie theater. I played it on my break. It was good. So Undertale, highly recommend it. Very good. I probably won't have time to go back and do anything else in the game. Mm-hmm. But it's cool to know that there is that much depth to it.
I did lie earlier, actually. There is one more game I played for a little bit this week.
What?
So I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to go through my backlog of games that I want to play, because I have so many games that
and by backlog you mean like the piece of wood attached to your scapulas.
Exactly. I'm trying to play that right now,
and you're just trying to get to it, but you can't reach that spot on your back by yourself, and you're just kind of like awkwardly moving your hands behind you. And
so like PlayStation released all these sales where games get super cheap, and I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to try that game out, might as well, because it's $10 or whatever. So I have like literally I counted 30 of those games.
Yep.
And so I'm playing a game. It's not really part of my backlog, because I was planning on playing this pretty soon anyway. So I started playing Metro Last Light.
Yep.
The second one. You got that. I don't know if you ever played it, though.
No, it's in that folder of backlog games on my PS4.
The second one is fantastic. It is so, so good. It's also it's a remaster, and both games are remastered together. So they're both kind of made to feel very cohesive together. And it just kind of feels like you're continuing playing the same experience. The story picks up pretty much with the story the last one leaves off. It's great. I haven't played a lot of it at this point to really get too much into it and to share more opinions, but it's the
I
same
know how
kind of
much
deal.
you were sucking that dick of that first one.
Oh, I loved
So
Metro
you'll love this one,
2033.
too.
Yeah, I mean, it's this very similar concept. You are living in the metro system of Moscow post a nuclear apocalypse.
Nuclear. Yep.
Nuclear. And there are like monsters in between the different train stations, and people live in the train stations. These are like cities exist inside the train stations. You're just like the last one. You're kind of maneuvering between different stations, trying to get from point A to point B, and it's just very tense. Very much a survival horror first-person action game. Good stuff.
Nice. So that's
yeah.
the other thing you played this week?
It's the other thing. I mean, again, I barely played it though. I really have not had much time to play video games this week.
Because you've been in church all the time.
Because I've been in church all the time. That is me. I'm such a pious person.
Nice. The other thing I played this week was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Oh, how is that? How is that?
I just, before we started recording this podcast, finished chapter 5 of, I think there's 12 chapters in the game?
That's a pretty good amount. That's
5
about
or 12,
the same
I'm
amount.
just under halfway.
That's about the same amount as the first Uncharted game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, chapter count doesn't necessarily mean much.
I guess
when
it's
you're
the length of
comparing
each
games.
chapter, yeah.
Right, because like Uncharted 4 had like 1,000 chapters, but they were all like 10 minutes each. But so far, my initial impressions, I don't want to like give my whole review of the game until I've played the whole thing, but my initial impressions are, it is very good to see that Uncharted still works without Nathan Drake.
Okay.
Chloe and Nadine have an excellent chemistry.
They are definitely going to continue the franchise then. This is just a test to see if they can continue the
I
franchise.
have a feeling it is, yeah. And everything about Uncharted is there. You have, for better or for worse at points, but the combat feels the same. You have all of your rope swing mechanics from Uncharted 4, which so far have been a little overused. Climbing, traversal, the witty dialogue and banter, like it's all there. It's all really, really great. So far, I've just gotten a little bit of a taste. The only thing I haven't experienced so far that Uncharted is known for is like those big, breathtaking set pieces.
They don't usually happen all the time, though. There's usually only a handful of them per game.
Yeah, and there's usually
I'd imagine
one big
there's
one.
probably
So there's like Uncharted 2 has the train, 3 has the plane and the cruise ship, 4 has the clock tower. So I'm
not the clock tower. The
where this will
Madagascar car chase is the big.
Well, there's the Madagascar too, but yeah, things like those big giant cinematic moments. I've kind of got a little taste of one at the end of chapter 5 there. So far, I like it a lot. But it does feel like you can absolutely see the roots of it as a DLC to Uncharted 4 that then became Uncharted Lost Legacy, where like I feel like they're hampered a little bit by the fact they started as a smaller project and then evolved rather than went in planning for
It seems like it started as a smaller project and then they pulled developers off of other projects to come onto this.
You said come.
Come.
So yeah, if you're a fan of Uncharted, it's $40 as well. Absolutely pick it up. I think people are saying it's like 7 or 8 hours to complete it. Not to like platinum and things like that. Of course, there's crushing difficulty, all this fun stuff. You got the multiplayer aspect of it too, but yeah, definitely worth picking up. I'm loving it a lot so far. So we'll see next week after I've hopefully beaten it, because Mario Rabbids comes out next week and I'll have to start playing that. And my life was so hard, and then Destiny comes out the week after that, and I have to start playing that.
I just do not want to play Destiny.
Oh, I just want to throw up.
I might make it. So I've my backlog rule. I'm making an. I'm only playing backlog games right now,
except for Mario Odyssey.
But I might make an exception for Mario Rabbids because I'm just really curious about how. That's
and then you're going to make an exception for Metroid.
No. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you're not going to stick to this for more than a week.
There will be 3 exceptions. That is it.
Nope. You're going to play Metro Last Light 3/4 of the way, and then you're going to say, "I give up on this dream of finishing my backlog."
I am very, very into playing Metro. I have been holding off in this game.
You're going to finish Metro. But you'll give up on the backlog dreams 3/4 of the way through.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to beat every single one of the backlog games. What I'm saying is that I'm going to start playing them and get deep enough into it where I'm like, okay, I got my value out of that game.
Yeah.
It's really more of like, do I want to keep playing this? Like Far Cry is not on my backlog because I played enough of that game. I'm kind of like, yeah, this is not something I'm interested in, and I stopped playing it. So I plan to go through all of them.
Yeah, like Shadow of Mordor for me. I played a few hours of that game. I got it, know what it's about. I appreciate it. Bye.
Same exact story for me. I'll play the new one eventually, though. It looks
I probably
good.
won't. I mean, yeah, it looks good,
good.
but...
So yeah. Do you want to go
I just got a
to
text
news?
message from you that says, what should be our topic for today?
We never talked about a topic for today.
I kind of think we have a couple big news stories that we can just kind of turn into it. So let's start jumping in with news.
Yeah. So I'll start off because I have a kind of
a
lame story that kind of ties into the whole what Naughty Dog is doing next.
Okay.
And this is just more of like one of those really dumb stories where they took a little portion of an interview and turned it into a story. And the headline is, Naughty Dog is currently experimenting with new worlds and genres. And in the interview, I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't Neil Druckmann or anything like that. In the interview, the developer said, yeah, we're always, playing around and sharing ideas. Doesn't mean they're actually actively working on stuff.
I hate internet journalism.
Absolutely. So, there was nothing really important about that story. I just wanted to share it because it's really stupid. I hate stories like that. But what I think is really cool and I'm kind of jealous of, I'm not jealous because I would actually get this, but I'm jealous because it's cool and I want to see it. And that is that the Pokemon Gold and Silver Virtual Console games that are coming out, in the EU, you're able to buy it as the Game Boy Color box. It still says 3DS on the side and everything, but it's still in a box. It's not a 3DS box. It is like a paper or cardboard Game Boy Color box. It's so cool. It's a
download code inside, not a cartridge, but it's pretty awesome.
Very, very cool. I'm all for that. Very excited about that stuff.
Just a little side note for Pokemon. Pokken Tournament comes out for a free demo tonight.
Ooh.
So if you're listening to this, you can probably go download that demo on your Switch.
I would download the demo for that. I'd play the demo
for that. Oh, yeah. I'd play the demo. I can pickle that.
And then since we're on Nintendo, also only coming to Europe is a SNES-styled 3DS.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool looking. I would never buy it because I have the coolest 3DS, or actually we have the coolest 3DSs ever.
That's right, we do.
The Majora's Mask 3DS.
Twinsies.
Which is great stuff. So those are kind of some Nintendo stories I got. I have a few more, but we'll get to. But let's hear some stories.
Yeah, I have some
chat.
shit, so listen to me now.
No, I don't want to listen to you, but our audience can.
Hey, you know that game that was debuted in 2014? And then
that one game?
Hey, this has the power of the cloud, and it's going to be great. And then Xbox took a different direction, and they're like, 3 years later, Crackdown's coming in November with Xbox One X. And then they're like, oh, wait. No, it's coming in spring 2018 now. This
is a story I want to flesh out.
Crackdown 3 got delayed until spring 2018. Their excuse was, obviously, we just want to make it the best it can be, but it was visually, bring up the visual fidelity to make sure that it looks as good as people want it to look when it comes out. So that game's going to bomb anyway, so why even fucking try?
Yeah, seriously. So I think that this is a story I want to flesh out because I think this is really important for Microsoft. I was actually I was telling Chad I was creating a list of topics that we can keep going and talking about, and this was one of them that I wanted to go over, so I'm glad we're talking about it. What does Microsoft have to offer for their Xbox One X? That was the only really big game that could have really shown off the power of the Xbox One X at launch, and it's not going to be there. I think the only big-ish launch game they're going to have now is that Super Lucky Tales.
So that's right, Super Lucky Tales. Don't they have like a Forza or something like that?
Which I personally think Super Lucky Tales looks kind of fun, but even I recognize it is not a system seller. It is not going to sway anyone to buy a 1X over a PS4 Pro. Yeah, Forza, but people were going to... It's such a consistent... It's like saying that Call of Duty is going to sway people on a 1X. It's not going to have that sway. It's an amazing franchise, but it's not going to sway people. Yeah, I'm really worried about the 1X. The pre-orders sold out, but that doesn't really mean anything because, of course, they were going to sell out. There were enough big Xbox fans out there that were going to get this. So I'm really worried about the 1X for this holiday season. Legitimately concerned now.
There's Crackdown 3 is going to tank because it's a game that had two very different focuses as it was coming in, like the cloud gaming part of Xbox, and then Xbox changed directions when Don Matrick left. And now Phil Spencer is going in a very different direction. And I actually was listening to, I can't remember what podcast it was, but there was a discussion where Xbox right now, there's a dearth of stuff to play on it. There's a dearth of exclusives, and studios are closing left and right. Like Fable Legends was canceled, and Lionhead Studios closed, and this is being delayed. There was Scalebound was canceled. Like, this is Phil Spencer coming in saying, "Hey, I'm going to run a different type of Xbox, and we got to cancel some things that aren't going to fly, and then we'll rebuild from there." So it's like, you know what? Yeah, if I came in, I would definitely want to make the company my own, and I would want to have a clear direction I'm going, and I can understand this is just a transition period for Xbox right now. They have a
transition period 4 years into their console cycle.
Yeah, it sucks the timing for it, but I mean, Don Matrick had a shitty idea for Xbox with all that TV and stupid shit that nobody cares about, and Phil Spencer came in and said, "No, this is about games. We gotta let some projects go. We gotta repurpose some stuff, and now we've got to build that up for the next couple of years until we start seeing the fruits of him as the head of Xbox."
To give people an example of how bad Don Matrick really was as the head of Microsoft for Xbox, when the Xbox One DRM issues were coming out, where it always had to be online and all that, his exact quote on what gamers should do if they want to play games offline is to buy an Xbox 360. Just goes to show you how
we have a console for that.
Yeah, it's a console that's 8 years old. It just goes to show you how little that guy really understood the game industry from a hardcore gamer perspective, at least. Maybe he's doing better at Zynga now. Actually, he's still at Zynga? I don't even know. Not important.
I don't know. He's probably dead.
But I think tying this back to Xbox One X, do you think this is going to have like any sort of major impact on the sales of Xbox One X? Like, because it's not a franchise I think that was going to bring in as many people as Microsoft thought it would.
No.
So it might not actually have a huge impact on their launch, but
no,
honestly, I think from a marketing standpoint, the fact they don't have a big game there, is that going to have an impact?
The biggest thing that would have any impact on Xbox One X this fall wouldn't have been Crackdown. It would have been third parties and how these games are better on Xbox One X. And that's what they were really banking on. Like, that's why they're really pushing Shadow of War, because it does have all these X exclusive features. And that's not changing. It's just a game that would have gotten mediocre reviews that not a lot of people were going to play anyway. Is now
it actually might help them, if anything, because if they had the big Xbox One X game coming out, the Xbox One X is getting mediocre reviews, that could actually hurt the image of the One X. At launch, this actually might be the best move for them potentially.
Yeah,
I'm still worried because it just is not sending this great message of Microsoft has it going on. They just don't.
Like, I feel for these Xbox, like, people who have that as their main home console. Like, there's nothing right now to be excited about on Xbox. You have third-party stuff that you can play on a variety of consoles, but there's nothing that makes you excited and proud as an Xbox gamer.
Off the top of my head, the two games I'm most excited about for Xbox are Below and Cuphead, both of which are indie, like, practically 2D style games. Not that there's anything wrong with 2D, but they're not big games.
And you can get them on PC too. So,
is Below going to be on PC?
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. I want to play that game.
Next up, Mass Effect Andromeda's dead.
Yep. Very sad. That's actually my backlog as well. I want to play that still. I won't finish it yet, but this is official from BioWare. They have officially confirmed that there's no more single-player updates for Mass Effect.
Yep. That includes extra content. That includes bug fixes. That includes, like, what's there is there.
And just last week we were talking about how these companies handle bad games and turning them good, and
that's a completely different strategy from
I'm
No
sure
Man's
it's
Sky.
Because they're putting resources into Anthem, which is the bigger BioWare game. Or is it EA or is it BioWare or is it EA?
Well, remember BioWare got the BioWare studio that was working on
right, they got
absorbed.
Yeah, that's right. By Massive, right? Massive, what was it? Is it Massive?
I don't remember.
I think it's Massive.
Massive?
Yeah.
He's got a huge talent!
It's really sad for me that Mass Effect got shut down like this.
Yeah.
As long as I still want them to try to make another Mass Effect game in the future. I still hold on to that. They will. But it's just a shame to see that one of the great what could have been one of the great franchises has a huge dud in its record. And it's
Yeah.
the only game of this generation, which means that some people might not have even had exposure to the first 3 games. And their idea of Mass Effect is this complete garbage, like mess of a release that came out.
Yeah. What's sad is that apparently it's not even like a bad game. It's just not a great Mass Effect game. But neither
But that
of us will
doesn't
ever know
matter,
because
but
we're not
that's
going to
the
play
thing
it. And that's why it
Gamers
sucks
have
for
very
them.
high standards, though. A mediocre game is a bad game for some
It's
people.
true. Well, it's not that it's a bad game. It's just a game that in this day and age, with all the releases that we have to keep up with, like, there's not enough time to play mediocre games anymore.
No.
That used to be back when you bought one game every couple of months and you played the hell out of that game because maybe that's all you had the money for, or that was all that was coming out. Yeah, you could. There were plenty of bad games that I played for a long time, but nowadays, ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis.
Bronchitis definitely impacts your gameplay experience.
It does. Hey, speaking of Xbox games that no one gives a shit about from 2 topics ago, y'all remember that Recore game
They're getting a
from the creator
definitive.
of Mega Man? They're getting a definitive edition.
I think that goes to show how the lack of exclusives that Xbox has.
Yeah.
They're making a definitive edition on a game that was not a commercial or critical success.
But you know what's crazy? It's a definitive edition of a game that was released on Xbox One. Like, it's not like a port from last generation to this one where you usually see, like, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. That was the one where it was a PS3 game.
Yeah, that's kind
got
of true.
remastered on PS4.
There's no
This is like-
DLC that they could be putting in this to beef it up.
Apparently there is. There is what, like, you get, there's a, I don't fucking know how this game works because I didn't care about it at all, but there's an extra robot now that you get or something like that.
Yeah, what's really shitty, though, about this is that the Recore, when it came out, or I guess other games that have come out on Xbox One are getting updates for Xbox One X and being all pretty and all that kind of stuff. If you bought Recore on Xbox One, you're not getting those updates. You have to buy the definitive edition to get those enhancements. No one's going to buy this game.
You do if you already own Recore regular. You do get
the updates.
You do get the 5th row. Wait, hold on. The core bot will be free to players who already own Recore. And those who purchase an Xbox One X and already own Recore will receive the game's visual updates for free as well.
Then what's the purpose of...
So it won't have 4K, like all the new fancy stuff on older versions of Xbox. I guess maybe because they can't even fucking run it. So if you have an X...
I'm trying to think what's the purpose. So if you have bought Recore already, you get these enhancements. And you get the extra robot. What's the purpose of this definitive edition then? It just sounds like a marketing ploy.
Microsoft officially debuted Recore Definitive Edition during the company's Xbox live stream. In addition to a new trailer, the first look confirmed that the 5th core bot would become available later this year, promising to add content originally teased when the game first debuted. Listed for $20 and an August 29th release, will feature HDR support and offer enhanced visuals.
It's a ploy. If you get those enhancements, the same exact enhancements with the regular traditional version of this game, there was no reason for them to make a definitive edition of this. Unless they're selling the non-definitive edition for less money now, and you can buy them separately from each other, and it's $30 for,
I don't know if that's the case. I think if you want the HDR enhanced visuals on a 1S or a 1, you have to buy the definitive edition.
That's some bullshit.
That's just straight up stupid.
I'm really greedy.
Like 20% still confused over how this works, but it's stupid nonetheless.
That doesn't make any sense to me. All right, well, I have...
Hey, do you have any stories about Xbox's Gamescom conference so we can just kind of wrap that whole thing up?
I actually don't, because the other thing I had was the Scorpio edition. Yeah.
Scorpio edition, and Xbox One X pre-orders are live. You can buy one now.
We had talked about that already.
Did we?
Yeah, we mentioned
Xbox
that
One X pre-orders.
Yeah.
They're live. There's also this Scorpio edition, which honestly I think kind of looks dumb.
Yeah,
like
it's
the Xbox
like
One
the day
X
one.
Looks.
It's the day one edition,
nice,
basically.
Yeah, but then it has the Project Scorpio in green on the front of the box, and then especially the controller just has Project Scorpio written sideways down the center of the controller, and it's like, that looks really dumb.
I mean, I prefer the name Project Scorpio over Xbox One X myself, or just Scorpio in general. So maybe they're trying to harp on that, but whatever. I'm not going to buy an Xbox One X anyway.
No, yeah, I mean the name's cool. I just think it looks dumb.
I have. I have two Nintendo stories that are pretty quick.
Ooh, tell me your Nintendo
Those are my last Nintendo stories. So one I like, one I don't like. One I don't like is that there's a new mode. There's a new mode in the in Ultra Sun and Moon coming out where you can take pictures of your Pokemon to increase your friendship with them. These are the exact kind of things that I don't care about in Pokemon games.
Yeah.
I'd rather them just really enhance the RPG elements of it. Every time there's been like a Pokemon contest or like you can like rub your Pokemon and stuff to like make them love you. Like I never do any of that stuff.
I wonder how much of that is popular in Japan.
It has to be popular in Japan because I guarantee you that no one in America is doing that.
No.
I've never seen a single person that plays Pokemon, even super hardcore fans, ever do that stuff in the US.
Yep.
It's got to be a Japanese thing. It has to be.
Yep.
Because I actually wouldn't be surprised if they'll release Pokemon mobile games in the future that are just stuff like this.
Yep.
And it would sell like crazy, too.
You know,
so there's that story.
That's the whole shtick of me, Tomo.
Yeah.
You just have conversations, answer trivia, and buy clothes for your me. Like, that's... I don't know. Japan has some different cultural interests than we do.
Well, that's because they're different culture.
And that is neither good nor bad.
It is just a different culture.
It's just different.
But on the good side...
Tell me another!
A new ARMS character that is...
Oh, good.
Awesome. Her name is Lola Pop.
Okay. Can you take a picture with her?
No, because she's not in Pokemon.
Wait, Lola Pop? Is she like Popsicle?
She's a candy character.
Mm-hmm.
And what she does is... She guards, she balloons up and turns into like this big, like, it's almost like in Willy Wonka how Violet Beauregard kind of balloons up.
Blueberry bitch.
She kind of becomes a big blueberry. This character will just kind of blow up when she's guarding. And she just looks awesome and so much fun. And she's in a really cool new level that's
look up a picture of her right now.
Kind of shaped in like a Z almost.
What's the name of it? Lola
Pop.
Lola Pop.
Lola Pop.
Lola Pop.
And
she looks like a terrifying candy clown.
Her arms, like every character
scary.
has like the spring arms. Like Min Min has ramen arms because she's like she has her whole world is like a little ramen bowl, and she looks like licorice arms almost.
And she has clown pants on.
Clown pants on. Yep.
Yeah, she's terrifying. This is like
awesome.
it. This is it.
But the best thing about her is she's a new pair of arms that come with her too, and they're nunchuck arms.
Oh, arms. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Shut up.
Are you still playing that game?
I am, yeah.
Good.
I loaded it up today, I think. But I don't really count that as like my, what did you play this week? Because I'm not going to talk about ARMS again, because it's just
because you played
the same
it.
thing. I played it.
Except we talked about ARMS again.
We did, but because there's a story about ARMS, and it's great. Well, I was actually looking to play this character, because I thought she'd be out today, but she's not, so. But.
Speaking of things that are out today... Just kidding. I don't have anything that's out today.
Today.
I was hoping something on this list would be that.
Nope.
At Gamescom.
Great transition.
At Gamescom, they did announce. Have you seen the Jurassic World evolution?
This looks pretty cool.
Looks pretty awesome.
That's a really clever idea for a park simulation game.
Yeah, it's from the guys who did Roller Coaster Tycoon, and it's a park building thing with the T-Rex, and it can get free, and you have to fucking have it not eat everybody or eat everybody. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Absolutely,
your park to be.
What I would do is have the kids play area and then like the T-Rex bin right next to it, just like have the T-Rexes come out all the time. It'd be great.
Coming summer 2018 to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Honestly, like, I want this to be on iPad.
Yeah, all those like RTS games or like Roller Coaster Tycoon kind of style games like this is. Those games I feel would work so much better on iPad.
They would be so dope on iPad.
Especially now that mobile devices are at a point where they're pretty powerful and can support that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When iPad first came out, no way it was going to happen. But now, why not?
No. Yep.
Plus, touch just makes this stuff so much easier. I was playing Tropico a few weeks ago on the PS4.
Yep.
I hate controlling those kind of games with a joystick. It just doesn't work.
I don't know what Tropico is.
Tropico is essentially Civilization, but you're a dictator.
Okay.
It's fun.
Nice,
Not Civilization.
Nice.
It's like a city builder game, but you like a Sim City, but you're a dictator.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's super fun in concept, but I never played it.
Nice.
So, I have a story here that I'm kind of excited about.
No, you don't.
I
Okay,
do.
go.
I do got a story here. And that is that Final Fantasy 15 is coming to mobile with a Pocket Edition. I swear to
what?
God. Is this news to you?
Yeah, I saw that it's coming to PC.
It is coming to mobile with a Pocket Edition. It's like a cartoon version of the game almost, but it's the same gameplay. It's still like an action RPG. I'll send it to you right now.
Is it the full game?
So I've heard conflicting reports. I've heard
it
is the full game. I've also heard it's condensed into 10 episodes. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
So the 10 episodes are going to be broken up. The first one's free. You pay for the ones after that. But it is the same gameplay. Like, you are on your road trip with your friends. The dialogue between the characters is all there. There's voice acting for it. But it kind of looks like... You know how the DS Final Fantasy games looked? Where kind of these like cartoon characters? It looks like a better version of that.
Send me that link.
I'm sending it to you right now. I saw this and I'm like, that looks awesome. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's interesting.
Yes. So it comes out this fall. It's going to be on iOS, Android, and Windows 10 mobile devices.
All 4 of those.
All 4 of them.
All 4 Windows 10 mobile. Oh, shit.
No word on pricing quite yet, I don't think, unless it's not in this article here, but I was very surprised by that. It reminds me of the Resident Evil 4 mobile game. Resident Evil 4 came out on mobile, I want to say like 2011 or so. Yeah. And it was just condensed down to 10 episodes of that game. So it's not the full game, but it gave you like tastes of some of the gameplay experiences in it. So you got to do like the part where you're in the town, escaping from the villagers, like kind of those really iconic moments from the game. You got to play those.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're kind of picking the kind of an adapted story of it and coupling that with the kind of key parts of the gameplay they wanted to show off. So you're watching the trailer for it right now.
Yeah, it looks
good,
like a legit version of this game.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I was pretty surprised. God,
That's pretty cool. I wonder how that's going to actually turn out.
It looks solid. It looks really solid. And they clearly made this from the ground up.
Yeah.
So I think if they made this from the ground up, they weren't going to do it half-assed.
And Final Fantasy has a history on iOS. I mean, you can have every Final Fantasy up through 9, I think.
Yeah.
On iOS, so they've had years to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I won't play through that game again, but I'll definitely play the first chapter and see how it
I might play it that way because I don't really have a desire to play a 50-plus hour action RPG after really not being a Final Fantasy fan for a very long time. I would try that though. It looks fun.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't believe I shocked you with a news story. History was made here.
Yes. Hey,
so,
if you guys like VR, HTC Vive is getting a significant price drop.
$200.
Dropping $200 down to $599. You still need a beast of a computer to run it. But if you want the best VR headset on the market,
yeah, I think
it's a little more affordable.
I think rather than getting... For VR, I think that rather than getting these companies to make another version of the VR that's better, I think they need to work on just getting everything super cheap.
Yeah.
I think that ideally VR headsets should be in the $200 range. And once they're there, I think it'll then hit mass market appeal.
That standalone Facebook one that's coming out next year. No phone relying or anything like that, but
I don't know how that's going to be though. I'm talking like for video games, like a high quality VR headset. That's going to be a medium quality, like stationary, you can't move around. But the Vive, the PlayStation VR, these kind of VR headsets stand above, say, the Gear VR or the Google Daydream. Because Google Daydream and the Gear VR, you're stationary, you have to sit in one location. I imagine the Facebook one will mimic that.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. I have no idea. It is technically going to be made by Oculus.
Oculoso. That's Spanish for Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
I made that up right now.
But if they're selling the Oculus on the side of this dedicated VR headset, or really the dedicated VR headset would be to the side of the Oculus Rift, it can't be as powerful as an Oculus Rift.
Oh, no, it absolutely won't be.
So therefore, it's going to be stationary, I think.
Yeah. It's going to be the exact same shit you're getting on Google Daydream and Gear VR, but without a phone.
That's a big deal still, but I wouldn't buy it.
Hey. This week, PlayStation revealed a short teaser animated video saying, "Hey, we have some new hardware that we're going to show off."
I called
it was just something under a red sheet, and it turned out to be a fucking GT skinned, stupid ass PlayStation.
So Jen and I are talking about this beforehand, and I'm thinking it's just gotta be a reskin. There's no way it's anything like really new.
They've never hyped up a reskin like this before, though. It's so stupid.
They also said in the tweet like something new is coming or something like that. That's not
says,
new.
We're getting geared up for the reveal of something new.
Oh, geared up is a clue as to what that is.
Oh my god. So
I mean, they were
stupid.
going. I don't blame them for making it. Like
No.
the console itself, that makes sense.
No.
The
I mean, it doesn't
marketing
look
behind
good,
that and the
but-
positioning of it was kind of strange. That's not new.
Yeah.
What day does it come out again? It's in October, isn't it? It comes out
October
alongside
30th?
GT Sport, I believe.
No, just kidding. I lied about that. Yeah, something. I don't care.
Well,
It's coming out when GT comes out on PS4. And if you like it enough to get a console that's silver and black and then has a little GT logo on the top of it, go for it.
it does look nice.
The last thing I have before we talk about what I think is on everyone's mind this week, which is the SNES Classic. This actually just dropped today. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle has a season pass, and there's a price on it, and it kind of details what's in it.
I missed this story. Please do share.
It came out today.
Actually, don't share that. I don't want you to talk to me about it.
Okay, good. Hey, everyone, Holden's plugging his ears right now. So
No,
the game
actually.
launches on the 29th, which is next week. Available on the shop for the season pass will be available for $19.99.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. It has 3 sets. The first is unlockable on day 1, and it's just 8 unique steampunk weapons, each with their own individual statistics. The next piece of DLC will come later this fall, introducing new solo challenges and additional maps for cooperative play. And then the third and final piece of DLC will arrive sometime in 2018 and feature new story content.
Interesting. It sounds very similar to how the Zelda DLC got rolled out.
Yeah. What I hope this is, however, I hope this allows it. I hope you can buy these individually rather than the stupid Zelda way where you have to buy the season pass for both packs. Like, you can't buy those individual.
I didn't mind it that way. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, but I don't care about the steampunk guns, and I probably won't play a lot of cooperative play on this one. I just want the extra story
You don't want to
content.
play with me?
I mean, online?
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see how good the game is, but people are really liking it so far in their previews. That's a thing. Do you have any more news stories left?
I think I do. I know I have.
Tell me all about it. Tell
I have 3
the way
stories.
I want it. Tell me all about it. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
So, one story here is that a lot of these are pretty quick. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT launching on the PlayStation 4 on the day of January. There is a specific date. January 30th, 2018.
Did you ever play those games on PSP?
I did, and I actually
They
really
were fun.
liked them. They were really fun.
I enjoyed them a lot.
It's Super Smash Bros. For Final Fantasy characters. I don't even really care
Kinda.
about Final Fantasy characters that much, and it is Super Smash Bros. Final Fantasy character. It has a different style of gameplay because you're in a 3D arena as opposed
3D
to
arena.
side
It's
by
also
side.
only one-on-one.
But the reason I'm saying it's Smash Bros.
You're
is
just
that
attacking to build up for your big attacks, which is different than.
But I guess it's
Smash
similar.
Bros.
I guess I'm saying it's similar in the sense that
It's
it
similar
is
in the
all
fact that it's
Final
a
Fantasy...
fighting game between all the Final Fantasy characters.
Yes, I'm excited for it because
Other
I
than
really
that, it
enjoyed
shows no similarities to Smash Bros.
The gameplay itself is not the same, but the concept of a fighting
No.
game with characters across many games within a known quantity is there. So there's that. There's also, where was it? Age of Empires 4 was announced, and I didn't realize the last one came out in 2005.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty big deal that it's coming back. And
Do you think it took them 12 years, or do you think they gave up and they're like, you know what?
They probably
Retro's a thing now.
They probably started over again a few times. It's being headed by Microsoft Studios, which means this is going to be exclusive to Xbox One, I would imagine.
Xbox One console.
That's a pretty big exclusive for them. The other one is there's been this trend of Souls-like games.
Yeah.
And there's a new one, and I've been saying this, is when is there going to be a Dark Souls shooter? There is now a Dark Souls-like shooter that's called Immortal Unchained. And
Wait. Whatever happened to that other one we talked about like 3 months ago?
Surge?
Surge, yeah. Did you ever play that?
No, but it was supposed to be pretty good.
There's a demo out. I think I'm going to play that tonight.
Yeah, that was supposed to be pretty good. So in this game, it's all about dodging the bullets, I guess. It's all about mobility, but they are calling it a Souls-like game. And I'm going to be very interested to see what a third-person shooter action RPG Souls-like game is going to be like. I think we're really starting to see a genre getting made.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind
genre
of
is
cool
being
see.
birthed before our eyes. Careful,
So-
if you want to sleep with your wife again, don't look down there.
So
While
it's going to
being
test your
birthed.
Twitch skills with punishing difficulty. I don't play shooters that much, so I'm like I don't know how well Splatoon will translate to this. So
Or Metro. You play Metro.
that's true. I play Metro. That's not quite like a shooter though.
A shooter.
A shooter. It's not.
That's a
like
shooter that shoots other
shooter
shooters. That's like Mark Wahlberg's
It's a
movie
survival
Shooter.
horror game in a first-person perspective.
Horror game.
It's a horror.
Survive
game.
the whores.
The horrors. It's a horror game.
The hordes of whores.
There will be a game called that at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's going to star you, and you're the star quarterback for your high school, small town, backwoods team.
I
You
think.
have to survive the horde of whores.
All right. Do you have any more stories? I think that's all I got.
No, I don't.
All right. So
Let's get into something that pisses me off.
I saw this group
fucking-
chat happening.
Oh my god.
I saw you complain about it a little bit. But tell
Super
me about this.
Nintendo. So Walmart a month ago accidentally put up pre-orders for Super Nintendo
So I
Classic.
just did air quotes just so you
I
guys
did.
know.
I accidentally, air quotes, claw my eyes out, put this up in the middle of the night, and everyone was so pissed. Like, oh my god, why the fuck would you do this in the middle of the freaking night? And then they're like, oh, just kidding, it was an accident, and everyone, you got canceled. Then comes not last night, 2 nights ago now, when fucking 1:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, Best Buy puts theirs up. And they sell out almost immediately. And then 5 a.m., Amazon goes up, sells out almost immediately. And it's like, who the fuck do they expect? If Nintendo and these retailers want people who care about the system to get into the hands of those people, like, why the fuck would you do it while everyone's asleep? The
Or
only
just
people who are gonna get
announce
their hands
it.
on
It's
them,
going to be launching for pre-orders at 4 a.m. And then people will be ready for it.
Otherwise, everyone who got it right now has to be some kind of scammer.
There was a picture on Reddit I saw, and it was just a listing of all these SNES Classics that said 250, 250, 250, 250 on eBay.
Yep.
And the posting was, why can't these consoles go to people who actually want to use them?
Exactly.
And
then
it's,
later that day, GameStop's pre-orders go up, and it crashes their website. But apparently if you drive to a GameStop location, you could do it. Or if you use the app, I was sitting there, fucking right next to Justin Svoboda, while he had his app open and I had my app open, and we're both hitting the same fucking button. Couldn't order any of the regular console, but you could order their stupid bullshit $140 bundles with the thing in it.
what bundle is going to be used?
It comes with like a stupid shitty art book and a piece of shit other thing that you don't want, and then like a wireless
Lame.
controller. But it's their way of selling these things and getting a lot of profit for shit you don't need. But anyway, he's sitting there hitting refresh and checkout on this thing, and I'm doing the same thing, and he gets in, after probably like a half hour of tapping, he gets in and he's able to pre-order 2, and then even gets into the process of ordering the third one before mine even let me order anything. Like, that kind of shit pisses me off. One,
to be fair, a
when
lot
you
of these
put
companies,
it up in the middle of the night.
a lot of these companies, Walmart, Best Buy, all them, have been saying that they're going to have a pre-order like kind of allotment of units, and they're also going to have an allotment of units for actual launch day at stores.
Yes.
So you have a chance.
Who knows how much
Nintendo
that
has said they're
in-store
going to make
allotment will be.
significantly more than they did for the NES last year, so hopefully it won't be hard to get these. But here's the thing:
It will still be hard to get these.
There's a gigantic. I know it's still gonna be hard to get one, but it's gonna be easier than it was to get an NES Classic. There's such a huge, gigantic demand for these products. Why limit them to only being sold in 2017?
Fuck
Why is
Nintendo,
this
that's
not
why.
a consistent thing? Well, I mean, there's the Virtual Console. They probably want people to buy games there.
Do they? Do they want people to buy Virtual Console? Then fucking release Virtual Console. But that's a whole other fucking thing.
Like they've done a lot of really great things this year, I think, but this is the Virtual Console and how they're handling these like NES Classic and SNES Classics is abysmal. It's terrible. It's really, really bad.
So stupid. It makes me, like, in my heart of hearts, I want to boycott Nintendo and never fucking buy anything they've ever done before. Again, until enough people do it that they finally stop doing their shitty fucking practices that they've done their whole lives with Wii, with this, with everything in the whole world.
Absolutely everything in the whole world.
If I get my hands on an SNES Classic, also I'll be like, I'm so in love. Oh, I'm just so fucking pissed off.
Well, this is what they should do. They should send the people who own a Switch are like the most dedicated Nintendo fans, will say, right?
Yep.
Send a little survey to every Switch and just say, hey, do you guys want an SNES Classic? And then use that as a gauge of how many they should make. Or something like that. They need to do something. Because they don't. Fuck ton of them. They're not going to people who really want to have these things. They're going to people who rip people off online. There are There are NES Classics that are like still on eBay for like $400 or $500.
Yep.
It's crazy. Just release them.
Stupid.
So they're consistently available all the time. I wouldn't mind if they up the price to $100 for each of these, if they were available all the time, so they can make more profit off of it or something. But they have to, because there's a huge demand for them. People will buy them. I want one. Really, I'm saying this because I want one, and I'm not going to get one probably.
It's fucking stupid. And the fact that they're not going to make any more after December of this year.
So I have a theory on this, that it's like the Disney Vault, where like we're not going to sell The Lion King anymore. And then like 5 years later, they're like, by the way, The Lion King's now out on Blu-ray for everyone to get. I'm thinking that in like a few more years, we'll see once they've gone to like the GameCube Virtual Console and kind of end it there. Then they'll kind of go back to NES again, and they'll have like maybe more games or different games on it or something like that. It'll be a little bit different than the NES Classic that came out earlier. But it's
stupid as shit.
It's really dumb.
Stupid.
It's
Fuck
really stupid.
Nintendo.
All right, so we're gonna wait.
Mario Rabbids though,
and Mario Odyssey.
And
you're definitely gonna buy that Zelda DLC.
Nope, not touching that with a 40-foot pole.
Are you gonna wait in line to get?
I was so bored with that game. Oh, I have yes. Not only for myself, but I'm already thinking of ways to rope in my roommate to come with me, because they're probably gonna have a one per customer limit. Because I want to get one for my parents, because they're gonna freak the fuck out over it.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna know to pre-order one or anything like that.
No, that's
even
a good point too.
You could fucking do one.
Even if you look at kind of the Blue Ocean strategy, I think there's a Blue Ocean strategy, not Blue Ocean exactly, but like old gamers who don't game anymore really, but want to go, like your parents who have an SNES still.
Yeah, if
do they still play
it with their new TV?
Yeah, but now they can with an SNES Classic that they can't buy.
Right, exactly.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
Fucking Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't really have anything like new to add to this conversation at this point. Like,
if you got one, write into us. Tell us how about you got it, and then send it to me. And give me your address, and I'll come kill you and take it. Oh, I'm so worked up about it. I was so pissed off. I was sitting there. I was at work, supposed to be doing my job, just hitting refresh on this stupid goddamn GameStop website. Oh, and then Target. Apparently, if you hit the button enough at Target, it'll say, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Oh, there's an item in your cart now. And it's like, oh, great. And then you go to your cart, you put in your billing information, you put in your shipping, it says, review your order, great. Hit the button. Oh, no, your cart is empty. I did that 6 times and screamed every time it said it was empty. Just fucking like, why can't, it's 2017. The internet is all around us. I'm looking around me in 360 degrees right now. I can literally see internet everywhere. Why can't it fucking work when pre-orders go live for the SNES Classic? Why does GameStop's website lie to people? Why does it crash? Why does Target lie to people?
Because they...
If any of you guys are listening, though, and you do get an extra...
From Target and Walmart and Best Buy's perspective, they're like, great, these consoles are selling out like crazy. This is awesome for us. They don't care.
Or do they?
No, they don't.
Because if they had more, people would fucking buy more. So they do care. They want more. Shut up, Holden. They care. Tell them they care so they get more. That's the end of my little baby rant. Do you have anything else you want to rant about before we get to the subscriber interrogative?
Yeah, I do have something to bring up. What is this subscriber interrogative about? I don't get it.
Oh, I don't know. I just had the thought the other day. I was like, I wrote it in the form of an analogy that you would see on the SAT. So I understand if you aren't familiar with that format, with the colon and the double colon.
So tell me about this.
I was just in my kitchen the other day.
I'm actually going to the interrogative
drinking
right now.
some water, and I said, you know, all these old people talking about, oh, I don't get the technology, and all these people wasting all the time on their video games, and they should go see people and go out to the park and fucking whatever old people say nowadays. But I was thinking in my head, you know, young people are to video games And I say young, thinking like now that's like 30s and 40s. Because
you're like 50 years old now.
I'm almost 30. I'm 27. I'm going to die tomorrow. Young people are to video games as old people are to bridge club and bingo and stupid shit like that.
So you're saying that like there'll be like retirement homes in the future
Like,
where like there are like Mario Kart tournaments and stuff happening.
Yeah, I honestly do think that's going to be a thing. But old people are always complaining about young people in their video games. And I think at the root of it is that they're just pissed off that their games are boring and suck. And it's like, you never learned how to do anything past playing with cards.
To be fair, though,
or stamping a bingo number.
You can't get better graphics in a bridge game because it's like lifelike.
It is photorealistic.
It's photorealistic. I think bingo. I can just like card games and stuff because there's a social dynamic to it. I don't understand bingo, man. That's the worst one.
Yeah, bingo's boring as shit.
I mean, at least
you go and you sit with Betty and Sue Ann and Velma and Bertha,
I just
and
like
you sit
bingo
there
because
and
it
you
changes
chat about
every
how
time.
bitchy this other old woman is at the retirement home. But I just think it's interesting. I mean, like even by that time, of course, we're all going to have little lenses in our eyes and we communicate that way, but it's still a social experience for us with video games, even if it's just us talking about a single player game to each other, or whether it's playing cooperatively or competitively.
Well, what's funny is you might even see a different, like, kind of complaint, like a different nature to the complaining, where like gamers who are playing on the SNES and NES eras will now say games are too easy now. Games were harder, and like they
Yep.
There's more impact to the games and all this kind of stuff. Like you'll have like in the future be like, I don't know why kids are playing all these stupid like games or whatever. I don't know what like
when we're sitting in a retirement home playing Mario Kart on a screen with a controller.
I think it's
or even with a VR headset on. When are we gonna say, oh, these kids and they're doing heroin while jacking their brains into a computer?
I honestly think it'll be something like that, minus the heroin, where it'll be like, we're playing with a controller and they're just like looking at something invisible in front of them and like twiddling their hands around, and you're like, what are these kids doing playing these interactive AR games and all that kind of stuff? It'll be like that.
Where does it go from there? Where does it go from augmented reality?
You know what's funny is that I have a topic in the future that we will be discussing this.
Oh shit!
Right? So yeah. I think we're about to jump into our Hellblade spoiler cast.
Oh, yeah. So that's it for this week's like legit episode of Split Screen Gaming Podcast. We're going to stop it right here in just a second, and then check out the feed for our spoiler discussion of Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice on PlayStation 4 and PC.
It's Senua.
It's Senua.
Senua? Oh, that was Senua.
Senua.
I thought they were saying Senua in the... All right, never mind.
They were saying quinoa. Quinoa. Senua and quinoa. You got them confused.
Hellblade, quinoa's sacrifice.
Oh no, my germ has separated from me. That wasn't funny. Hey, you guys are great. We're going to try to get back on like a regular-ish schedule, but that's not going to be next week because next week is Game of Thrones finale, so it's still going to be late next week.
We'll do Monday?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, we'll figure
Don't hold us to it.
Yeah.
The occasional weekly podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye, tiger lilies.